Well, hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Ninathesimplekenyangal. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get everything coming right your way. So today we're gonna discuss about the health of the baby after they get out of the hospital, like the newborn parts. Yeah. So if you're new, welcome. I'm so grateful that you're here with me. So let's get started. So, the first 48 hours of having that baby, you're obviously being monitored by the doctors and the midwives and the nurses around. But when you get home, that's when things get real. And my friend, it's not an easy ride, especially when you are not certain of what you're supposed to do. I'm talking about first time moms. Yeah, but the good thing that you feel is your baby is here and you are here, and praise to God. Yeah. So what are the some of the signs and symptoms that you might see or experience in your baby and you are not sure what to do? One, if the baby is not breastfeeding well, that's a sign that you need to go back, especially when you're trying to breastfeed and they're not latching, or you try bottle feeding and they are not eating and they have not eaten for a period of at least 3 hours. At most, yeah, it's at most 3 hours, because it's a newborn baby. The system is still planning on how to run, so you should definitely go check it. Okay, that's a serious sign that you need to check in. And don't take it for granted, because that newborn is getting every waste as much as possible from their system, so they don't have anything in their stomach. So if they're not feeding for at most 3 hours, they don't want breast milk, they don't want the bottle, please go back to the hospital for your own peace of mind and safety, because as of this time they must be super cranky. They don't want to be held, or they don't want to be put down. It's so stressful for the mom or the one who's taking care of the baby, and your mental health is triggered. So please go check in and just let them know on how you've been handling and what has been going on. Okay, the second sign is when the baby starts turning yellow. This is a sign that the baby has started getting jaundice. And as you might have heard, jaundice is not a joke, because that means the baby is not getting out liquids, and that's a danger to the liver. So if the baby starts turning yellow, especially on the palms, make sure you're super attentive to your baby, especially when they wake up and you're trying to breastfeed or something. Yeah, just check their palms. If they're normal, no need to be worried. But if they start turning yellow, there's definitely something not right. Okay, on their eyes and on their soles, on the bottom of their legs. Yeah, so make sure you check that. You are advised to just go so that they can tell you what you're supposed to do. And if when it's not sunny, that's when the baby tends to get yellow. But if you can just sacrifice for 2 weeks, you wake up as early as possible. As of the moment, it's super hot, so you wake up as early as possible. The sun that comes out around 8 a.m. is really nice for the baby to just stretch their legs and just get that sun in the system. It boosts their brain activity too, so it's a good thing. Okay, just get the baby out there and get some sun. If it's too windy and the house has a good nice open window that can bring that can that the sun can get on, that's a perfect place. Just undress the baby, let them get the sun, okay? And yeah, just monitor that for 2 days. If it's still going on, go check in, okay? Another thing, if the baby feels hot or unusually cold, yeah, when you just give birth, I know you tend to check on the baby's breathing all the time, like literally all the time. Even when they sleep for more than 2 hours, you're there checking if they're breathing, if their heart is beating. Yeah, it's normal. But if you tend to notice that the baby feels extremely hot or a little bit cold, don't cover them up, just go. This is like the sign you should go, okay? Another thing, if the baby has difficulty in breathing, this is easily noticed, especially when you're breastfeeding. You can tell, because as of that moment, the mother tends to be super close to the baby. You're listening, you're looking. It's just a new being in your life, and you want to mark everything that you see on the face, on the hands, on the nose. Just be just check if you see they're not breathing quite well. Don't wait for anything, just go to the hospital or call the doctor, and then they might come or something. But if you are nearer the hospital, just go, okay? Another thing, if the baby becomes less active, I know they have just been born, super tired, but let me tell you, they get to a point, they feed, they burp, and then when you put them down, they just look around. They can't see as far, but they just tend to look around. But if they're not doing this very often, that means something is not right. And that's when you're told, just have your pediatrician's phone number so that you can call and confirm anything that you see is unusual. Okay. Yeah. So those are some of the signs or some of the calls that you might check to know if your baby is okay or if your baby is not okay. And the best thing I'd advise is just have your pediatrician's phone number with you before you leave that hospital after you've delivered. Just have the pediatrician's phone number, and then you can call them and check in with them every time. And be polite when you're asking for the phone number, and you can ask them if you can call anytime, and most of them, they say it's okay, so nothing to panic about. But yeah, that is it. I'm so glad I touched on those. And I'll touch on a topic that goes with this. It's a little sad topic, but I think it's good to give awareness about it. If you have never heard of sudden infant death syndrome, it's something real, and you are advised as a new mom to make sure the baby is dressed properly according to the weather, not extremely hot or extremely cold. By extremely cold, I mean they can just sleep with a vest and a diaper when they are newborns, because their bodies still can't adjust to the temperature yet. So this happens very often, and it's very painful for the family and the mother, especially going through a whole pregnancy, coming out of the hospital with a healthy child, and then after a few weeks the baby dies without any reason. Let's say any reason. Scientists haven't found the reason of this syndrome yet. It's called SIDS. You can go look it up, and you'll hear a lot of stories that have happened. And I think just being overcautious about it will give you that like tap in the back to just check on the baby all the time. And when they're extremely fussy, it's good to just tell your pediatrician and they'll guide you. Don't be ashamed like you're asking too many questions. No, just ask. It's never wrong to ask. And that's one thing I really recommend for any mom out there. If you don't know, don't Google it up, because Google will not give you all the answers that you have. Just ask as much as you can. Get that knowledge, because as you know, knowledge is power, and it gets you a long way. Because after each baby you experience different challenges, and that's the way of life, and that's how life is exciting. But this sudden infant syndrome is a really sad topic. I've never experienced it, so I don't know how to really explain about it, because there are no signs, there are no symptoms. So just being aware of the environment that the baby is sleeping or the baby is chilling, I think will give you a long way to go in terms of just guiding the environment around the baby. Yeah, I am so glad you spent your time with me in learning and understanding some of these things. Yeah, so I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay tuned, stay safe, and be blessed. Bye bye.